1. The opening contrast among big powers in 2025. The U.S.-India dynamic is no longer defined by shared ambitions, it's defined by a clash of narratives. Washington accuses New Delhi of financing Russia's war in Ukraine through continued purchases of discounted crude oil restrictions that have led to sweeping tariffs up to 50% on Indian exports. 2. The U.S. narrative. U.S. officials, including Trade Advisor Navarro and Treasury Secretary Bessent, argue that India's energy purchases not only undermine sanctions but also fuel Russia's war economy, calling it an opportunistic laundromat for the Kremlin. 3. India's counterargument. India points out the double standard while India is penalized. Both the U.S. and EU continue trade with Russia under G7 terms. New Delhi insists its purchase of Russian crude, comprising over 35% of its oil imports, is a pragmatic decision under the price cap regime to ensure energy security, saving billions amid volatile markets. 4. The tariff backlash. The U.S. tariff decision has severe consequences. India's exporters from pharmaceuticals to textiles, gems, and electronics now face significant losses. Some sectors are reportedly considering Made in Europe rebranding to evade punitive tariffs. Meanwhile, observers warn that such actions damage the broader strategic framework, Quad cohesion, Indo-Pacific balance, and U.S. credibility as a reliable partner. Former Australian PM Tony Abbott cautions that punishing India risks destabilizing alliances formed to counter China. 5. Strategic autonomy versus transactional diplomacy. India emphasizes that its foreign policy is not transactional, it's rooted in the principle of strategic autonomy. While Delhi remains open to bilateral trade agreements, like the $500 billion Mission 500 deal initiated during Modi's 2025 meeting with Trump, it won't yield its core energy and alliance imperatives. 6. Emerging multipolar dynamics. In response to pressure, India is reinforcing ties with Russia, not only in energy, but also through planned free trade agreement talks with the Eurasian Economic Union (EAEU) and expanding collaboration via the EAEU and BRICS platform. 7. The meta-narrative. This isn't just a trade dispute, it's a battle of narratives. The U.S. frames the dispute as enforcing norms and supporting Ukraine. India frames it as protecting autonomy and survival while highlighting Washington's inconsistent approach to global trade rules. Big question? Who's shaping the rules and who's being held to them? Drop into the comments. Is this a principled stand or a geopolitical double standard? Subscribe to Global Worldview for clarity in a world of clashing interests.